I am frequently asked, what's the most important thing that I need to know as a chiropractor in order to be able to have a successful practice? Well, in this short video, I'm going to not only tell you what it is, but I'll tell you what to do to get it. So I've been coaching people for over 40 plus years in my own practice in 5-Star Management and also the New Patient Academy. And I can tell you categorically the most important thing in order to have a successful chiropractic practice is the ability to produce new patients. You can be the most compassionate, the best technician, have the best team, the best location, the best equipment, and struggle greatly if you cannot produce new patients. But if you can produce new patients, chiropractic all by itself is so wonderfully strong and great, you can be even a mediocre chiropractor and have an absolutely wonderful practice because chiropractic works that well. So if I had spent $200,000 or $250,000 going to chiropractic college, if I had the rest of my life invested in chiropractic, I would want to know the most important thing in order to be successful, and that is how to produce new patients. And in this short video, I'm going to tell you what I think are some of the most important things in order to be able to be a new patient magnet, a new patient machine that produces gobs and gobs of new patients. So stay tuned to the next segment. One of the most important concepts, ideas, principles that you can embrace is that everyone, and I mean everyone, is a salesman. I've heard chiropractors say to me, I'm not a salesman. Oh yeah? Well, I contend that everybody's a salesman. Pastors are selling congregations. Teachers are selling students. Coaches are selling teams. Husbands are selling wives. Wives are selling husbands. Parents are selling kids. Kids are selling to their parents. If you have an idea that you want somebody else to embrace, you're a salesperson. The only question is, are you any good at it? Well, Dr. Lloyd, I don't like to feel like a salesman. Well, then don't feel like a salesman. Feel like somebody who's trying to educate, somebody who's trying to help, somebody who's trying to save the lost. I was at a referral dinner one night, and I was sitting with several people, and all of them had come into our office as a result of a spinal screening, a lecture, some type of external marketing. And they had brought their friends into the office. The best patients that we had were as a result of us doing some type of outreach, some type of sales. So I'm going to challenge you, first of all, to just get over the I'm not a salesman piece. The faster you do, the better it will work for you. The only question is, are you any good at sales? The next concept is it isn't so much your strategy, it's your commitment to your strategy. Let me tell you what I mean. I was teaching a seminar one time on developing associates, and in the class was a young man who had opened up his office by doing 3,500 doors. In other words, he was doing door-to-door surveys, and he would produce new patients by getting out into the community and going door-to-door. And if you wanted to do a clinic with him, and he had 7 clinics and 7 associates in those clinics, they had to do residential surveys. Now, I don't do residential surveys. I have done them, but my thing is spinal screenings or massage events or lunch and learns. But he was committed to his strategy. So let's say that your strategy is dinner workshops. Be committed to that strategy. Committed to your strategy is the absolute opposite of throwing something against the wall and seeing if it sticks. So many chiropractors end up in workshops on how to get new patients looking for a trick or looking for something that they can just throw against the wall, not having prepped it, not having worked at it, and see if it'll stick. I promise you it's not sticking. Unless you are just incredibly lucky. It's such a low percentage game plan that you wouldn't want to do that. Instead, decide that if they can make it work, I can make it work. And what do I need to do in order to make it work? Now, in one 31-day period, my 5 clinics, plus one other that was affiliated, and 16, 17 different external marketers, including all my associates and a bunch of COAs, we produced 601 new patients in the door in those 6 clinics. Listen to that number, 601 new patients in the door in 6 clinics. That's over 100 new patients per clinic because we were committed to our strategy. If you're committed to your strategy, you'll find out how to make it work. So let's take the example of the game of golf. You've got X number of clubs, numbered irons, some fairway, maybe a couple fairway woods, a 3 and a 5, and a driver and a putter. You need to be committed to learning how to make each one of those clubs work. Or maybe 3 to 5 of those clubs really, really work well in order for you to be a winning golfer. So it's not your strategy. It can be dinner workshops, it can be screenings, it can be massage events, it can be lunch and learns. You pick the one, and then you get so good at it that you can make that strategy sing. So number one, we are all salesmen, you and me, if we've got an idea that we want somebody else to embrace. And we do. We want them to embrace the fact that chiropractic is good for life. Number 2, it's not our strategy, it's our commitment to our strategy. And number 3, how about our strategies? I believe in what I call a 6-pack. That would be 3 internal programs that I'm working simultaneously inside my office and 3 external programs that I work outside the office in order to produce new patients. So I call that a 6-pack. At any one point in time, if I only have one marketing idea, I might be blocked on that marketing idea. It may not work for me. There may be something flawed in it or just a momentary high-centered or blocked in some way. But if I have 3 external and 3 internal programs, I'm always able to move one of those programs forward. So I believe in what I call the 6-pack mentality. Multiple things. Well, Noel, that sounds like I could be awfully busy doing marketing. You know, if you give 3 to 7 hours to your marketing, just 3 to 7 hours a week to your marketing, you will have the practice of your dreams. If you understand that you're a salesperson, if you've got an idea that you want somebody else to embrace, you're a salesperson. Number 2, it's going to be my commitment to my strategy. And number 3, I need to come up with basically 6 strategies that I'm absolutely committed to. And in the next one, I'll tell you how to finish it off. Here's my 4th tip for today. Always do the tried and true and always leave room to try the new. So I'm always going to do what works. I can't tell you how many times I have heard people say to me, I used to do that and it worked so well, that's why I quit it. And it never made sense, but now it does. Here's what happens. I do some external marketing. I get really, really good at it. I get really, really busy at it. I forget that those patients came in from external marketing, or I hope that my referral practice is just going to kick in as a result of doing the external marketing. That does sometimes. But I give up on that thing that works. So I'm always going to be doing the tried and true. And once I get really good at that, I can teach somebody else to do that work for me, a community outreach assistant, but I'm always going to do the tried and true. And I'm always going to leave room to try the new. Now, I've got a live training coming up on too many new patients. Too many new patients came from a quote from one of my associates who was seeing up to 15, 20 new patients in a day. He says, I've got too many new patients. Now, that's a classy problem. The name of the live training is Too Many New Patients. It will happen in Chicago and in Seattle, and it'll happen in March. In fact, there's a button on this page where you can register for that. And come and learn the new thing, and come and get retrained, re-energized, reinvigorated on the tried and true. Rub shoulders with men and women that are producing more new patients than they've ever produced in their life, whose associates are getting super, super busy, and the clinic is doing super, super well. So I want to invite you to attend with us. If you've never been to a 5-star management seminar, you can get a seat in that seminar for only $49. And what better one to come to than Too Many New Patients? This is Dr. Noel Lloyd inviting you to join us for our live training, too many new patients. We'll see you in Chicago, see you in Seattle. Let's get too many new patients. Bye-bye.